today, Benny Thompson, who was in charge of the Jan 6 committee, proposed a bill that would strip Trump of his Secret Service protection if he's convicted of a felony and sentenced to prison. That means Trump could go to prison without protection. Democrats don't just want Trump in prison, they want him shivved. Vivek Ramaswamy is a former 2024 presidential candidate. Vivek, so, I mean, they're gagging this guy, they're fining him, mugshot. I mean, people are lighting themselves on fire about, 100 yards away from him. How scary is this?
Look, Jesse, this is downright frightening. You ought to think about this. This system, the swamp, will stop at nothing to keep this man out of office. That's what they've made clear. First, they tried to sue him. When that didn't work, they prosecuted him. When that didn't work, they tried to remove him from the ballot. When none of it worked, they're now denying him Secret Service protection. Ask yourself what outcome they're actually rooting for. This is ugly. This is un-American. And I think they're being much more transparent about to what extent they're willing to go to achieve their single-minded objective. And it's disgusting, Jesse. And the best way to protect against bad outcomes is to call that out, which is why we have a responsibility to call this nonsense out as we see it.
So Joe Biden's going around saying everybody cannibals ate his uncle, and no one's fact-checking him. They're saying he was off on the details. And then Donald Trump can't even say this judge is a donor, and then he gets gagged and then thrown in jail. This isn't right, Vivek.
Well, the only thing Joe Biden is cannibalizing is the truth in this country. That hypocrisy is now running rampant across the country, and I think it's working against them, Jesse. The more ridiculous these steps get, I know a lot of people who voted for Biden last time around that either are going to stay home or actually come around to voting for Trump this time around. So I think that every step they take is backfiring, and we are setting up for potentially a landslide of historic proportion. 1980, 1984 style outcome. As Reagan did, I think Trump can unite the country because of the red carpet that Biden has rolled out with some combination of his incompetence and his dishonesty. And the people of this country, especially independents, especially even young people, are starting to see through it. And I think that's going to be a good thing.
I feel that, too. I see it on the streets, and I can just feel it in my heart. Tell me something that makes me feel more confident, besides feelings. Is the RNC, is the Republican Party, or the donors, are people coalescing? Do they have a ground game? Are they harvesting, early voting? Tell me what's happening on the ground.
So, look, I think that the Republican Party has learned from its mistakes of the past to say that we're not going to have the same outcome for that red wave that never came. I think the new party leadership is off to a good start, bringing a big focus on saying that, you know what, we don't like all of this early voting. We don't like the way the elections are done, maybe. But we got to compete on the same terms if we are to win. You can't change the rules unless you win under the current rules. And I think there has been a real awakening to that across this party. I'm also seeing that amongst even large supporters, people who you would have never imagined in 100 years supporting Donald Trump, coming over, even people who have succeeded in this country, businessmen across the board, even people outside of politics who are saying that, you know what, this flailing economy, the open border situation at the south of our border, and worst of all, the lack of stability on the global stage. You had 4 years of Trump, and a lot of business-minded people in this country, Jesse, see this as a clear opportunity. You don't usually get to compare the records of two presidents side by side. Usually you have a challenger who hasn't been the president before. This is a once-in-a-century opportunity where people are able to just objectively assess the facts. And from the donor class all the way to the bottom-up grassroots, I think we're seeing a shift that should leave you feeling pretty good heading into the weekend.
Yeah, Biden can't remember 4 years ago, but everybody else in the country can. Vivek, your confidence makes me confident, and that makes me feel good going into this weekend. Have a good one.
You too, man.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.